this week, 17-year-old Mack Rutherford became the youngest person to fly solo around the world in a small aircraft after a 5-month journey across 52 countries.
After completing the historic journey, Mack encouraged others to follow your dreams no matter how old you are.
Well, we're delighted to say that Mack joins us now. Hello. So, come on. You're 17, but actually you turned 17 on the trip. You're only 16. How on earth did you say to your parents, I'm off, I'm going around the world?
My sister became the youngest woman to fly solo around the world in January. And I've been flying basically my whole life. And I thought, this is an amazing idea. I'll try and do something similar. At the start, it was definitely quite difficult to convince them that this was really something I wanted to do. But I was very able to convince them after a bit of time that this was my dream and that I also wanted to fly around the world.
Rivalry there, isn't it? I can't believe you knocked your sister off the top spot there for this record and stole her crown, as it were.
One of her records was youngest person to fly solo around the world in a microlight, and I also took that one. But she's been extremely supportive throughout my whole journey, so she's been really helping me out where she had problems. She gave me advice and things like that. So she's been extremely helpful throughout my whole journey. And she's actually the one who gave me the world record that I took from her. So she's been very nice and very, very kind.
Before you go on a solo flight around the world?
Sorry?
What sort of training do you have to do for a solo flight around the world?
So, of course, you need a bit of experience beforehand. You can't just jump into it. So before I flew around the world, I did 2 transatlantics with my dad. And basically, I went in a small airplane with my dad and flew across the Atlantic because that's what he does for a job. And really so that I could get experience, because the Atlantic is one of the most dangerous and most difficult parts of the journey. So to do that was really helpful, just to prepare me for what was to come.
You want to tell us about what were some of the challenges you faced? Because I'm quite sure there were some scary moments. Do you want to tell us about those?
Well, yes. So probably the most stressful moment on my flight around the world was when I was flying from Japan to the US. So I had a 10-hour flight from Japan to a small island in the North Pacific called Attu Island. Attu Island is completely abandoned. Not a single person lives on that island. It's been abandoned for over 10 years. There's just an airport there with no one. And so after this long 10-hour flight, I arrive at this island. It's getting dark. It's low clouds. It's raining a bit. I land there, and then on the side of the runway, I see this small shed, and there's no one there. So I park next to it and stay in that small shed for the night. And that's sort of what happened. And that was probably the most exciting, most difficult part of my journey.
Matt, can I just ask quickly before you go, what's next? What is your next adventure going to be?
Well, the next adventure is probably back to school and try and catch up as much as I can.
Sounds a bit duller to me, but